Welcome back to Dagryffyn Hobby. My name's Dave. In this video, we're going to take another look at the progress I'm making on the layout. This space right here will have the covered bridge. So I kind of need to figure out what is happening here. I might just, for now, do a gradual slope instead of cliff space. Using the caulk, it's always better to have it smooth. You get a much better adhesion and less excess space between pieces. Sometimes I'll put down a bead and spread it out with a putty knife. Other times I'll just lay it down on the bottom of the piece like this and then put the piece more or less where I want it, push it down, and then slide it back and forth. And that moves that around quite a bit, makes a thinner layer of caulk, and it ends up sticking the whole piece better. And it's easier than just spreading it on the bottom with a putty knife. So I'll just move it back and forth until it feels like it's really grabbing. And then I put in a couple screws to hold them in place until the caulk dries. I bought this years ago because I liked the look of it, and then had no idea once I started building a layout how I was going to fit it in. But I'm pretty happy with it here, and I think it will be neat, and it also helps separate the two sides of the layout. So what I was just doing was securing these three pieces up here, which blocks the track a little bit and then gives me some height to work on coming down from the mountain on the other side. I have the space marked out where the bridge sits. I know where the track's gonna go. Everything else is kind of up in the air. So I'm thinking I'll just kind of wire cut this area to get a general shape and see how it goes. So when you're not sure what to do, the best thing to do is just start cutting. Okay, it might not be the best thing to do, but it gets me moving. A lot of time when I'm carving, when I've put pieces like this above the grade where the track is, I might put down a very large piece and then have it cut down to almost nothing. And the reason for that is I want to think above the track level and get some height, but also I don't really know how it's going to work out. So I'll put a big piece there, and then if I end up carving 90% of the way, that's okay, because that's what gives me the final shape. looks like this, you know, I'll end up creating a shape that goes with that and probably fit into this groove here. So maybe it will be like a crack that will go through. I'd say not bad for the first draft. It made quite a bit of difference, and it's going to be a fun area to carve. It will give me the opportunity to try a couple different things, because really, you're probably not going to see most of this too often. Mostly happy with this initial shape. I was hoping it was going to be a little more gradual, but I might be able to work on that a bit. I might want to cut these back or down or off and give it more of a slope. But for the time being, I'm gonna let it sit and I'll come back and look at it later. So this feels to me like a lot of progress and not enough at the same time. It always seems weird when I take the layout apart in order to make some progress, but I have made progress. You see, I've started painting this part of the mountain over on the corner of the layout. I made more progress carving the back of the layout here. This obviously doesn't look good here, but I think that's because the next layer overlaps there. Painted the corner. I also finished carving and painting the space in between the tracks. I also finished this section here, the back corner. That takes the paint all the way up to where the viaduct will be. And I've got this section, I did some more carving and painting here. And I really enjoyed doing that. I felt like I was attaining a couple different shapes and patterns in there. Really enjoyed that portion. I had taken this whole section off to kind of inspect the bottom of it. and there were a couple of holes that I wanted to patch in and get some pieces behind it. One of the problems with using scrap is that you end up with weird spots like this, where you kind of have to wedge pieces in and make them fit. I had a large space in here, so I stuck that piece in there and that one there, so that there would kind of be depth to that gouge in the rock in both those places. I mean, there won't be any light, so you won't really see it, but it's kind of fun just knowing it's there. Not really sure what's going on back there, but that's actually in the tunnel, so it really doesn't matter. I kind of forgot about this piece. This needs some additional shaping before I can go back and put it into place right about there. And if I were to do this piece again, which I might do, I wouldn't do it with so many small scraps, because that's just kind of annoying. It's created some problems. Maybe I will carve that up, maybe I'll replace it, not sure yet. I placed the main piece of the top layer back on. As you can see, I got a decent amount of carving done. Over here is where that piece I was just talking about fits, and I'm probably going to completely recarve that piece because I'm just not loving the way it sits. So I won't secure this down yet in case I have to move it. I think I'll probably secure it down once I've figured out exactly what I'm doing with this back corner. I had been hoping to have this entire section painted by now, but that's okay, I will get it done shortly. It wouldn't take too long to paint that up, and I think it's mostly carved for now. I might want to do something with this space here. Maybe I'll think about that before I go and paint it. There are a few other sections I need to carve before I paint, like this back up here, but I can get to that easily. It's not going to be a hidden spot like the back of this. So I think the next step will be to focus on this corner here and try to get that nailed down so that I can proceed and finish this whole center section. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Dagryffyn Hobby.